Greetings, and welcome to the finale of episode 4 of Crucible of Fate. I thought at the beginning, and I said it at the beginning, that it was probably going to be one of my favorite games of D&D that I've played to date, and that was absolutely true. But the game's not over, and so what we're going to do here now, we've invited back 2 of our survivors. Unfortunately, Adam couldn't make it. But yeah, why don't we just get going here, folks, and see what happens. Welcome back to Mare and Cole, aka Andriel and Sir Daylon Dawnblaze. Gotta remember where I'm looking here. We're gonna pick our monster, we're gonna pick our escape room, but before that, I still want to allow Cole the opportunity to finish off Sir Daylon's turn. So, where we left off was a fairly climactic moment with the abyssal fog that had been seeping into everyone's lungs, into their skin, into every orifice possible. It began to eat away at your souls. This, as intended, caused a little bit of extra panic, a little bit of extra stress, as if you didn't take action, then there was a good chance that you were also going to perish to the fog. So it worked out quite well. In game, we just saw Sir Daylon Dawnblaze put an end to Lieutenant Matthias Crow, forced to do so by Thranduil's evil scenario that he has built here. So I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Cole, Sir Daylon has used one attack of an attack action. You still have, I believe, your hasted action and object interaction. And obviously, little one among the reeds has already escaped. Andriel has already escaped. So the portal has now opened behind you as the third soul has been claimed from this room. Sir Daylon, what would you like to do?
So, fresh after delivering that killing blow, finding the gap between the metal sheets and the armor, very familiar armor, Sir Daylon will take his blade out, sheath it, bend down to Lieutenant Matthias Crow, grabbing onto a scruff of his armor, pass a glance at fallen Jinzik over in the corner, drop his head, and then drag Lieutenant Matthias Crow through the portal.
So you bring Matthias Crow through the portal with you?
I do.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I guess he's an object at this point. No offense, Andrew. You bring him through. As you emerge from the portal, you see Thranduil standing in the middle of the Fate's Hand Tavern, this circle of stone and ancient wood with the torches flickering along the outside perimeter. And you've never seen him smiling the way he is smiling now. And as you come through, he looks at you, Sir Daylon, and looks down at the body that you have dragged through, and you see saliva begin to drip down the side of his face, and he licks his lips. Welcome back to you, Sir Daylon. I see that you have brought me a bit of a late night snack. Congratulations to you. That was an epic battle, and I'm very glad to see that my addition to the game had the desired effect. If only I could look Lieutenant Crow in the eyes and say, I told you so. But this will have to do. And he begins to slowly glide towards you.
As Theron goes gliding towards Sedalon and the fallen Matthias Crow, the look of intensity slowly gets removed by a smirk on Sedalon's face as he turns to Matthias Crow and produces a spell scroll and slaps it to his chest, starting to cast it as Theron goes making his way over, and the spell scroll is Revivify.
Revivify?
Yes.
Okay.
However, it is beyond my ability. I need to make a check. It's a 3rd level spell scroll and I can only cast 2nd level spells.
Okay, so DC 13.
And that's a charisma check.
Hold on one sec before you make it. Let me turn on the game log here.
That's a natural 20.
Oh no, hold on.
Okay,
there it is. Let's check the timestamp though. Okay, less than a minute ago. Just gonna keep things legit here, everybody. Okay, so the last roll was at the end of the last game. A natural 20 on a Revivify. As you begin to use the scroll, you see as Thurmgold is kind of gliding towards you with that saliva and this look of like intensity on his face. He's almost like starting to reach out towards the lieutenant. As soon as you start to read off the scroll, there's this like of power as this sphere forms around you and the lieutenant as it starts to grow a bit, just kind of like pulses with every word that you read off. As Thurmgold is gliding forward, you see his face grow very angry as he clearly can understand the words. And then he slams up against this growing sphere, and you can see that he is shouting. But you don't hear a thing as it's totally silent within. You can just hear the sound of your own voice as you are going through all of the arcane words and rhythm and phrasing of this scroll. And as you continue and continue, you see his form grow and grow and grow as his skin begins to turn a dark maroon red and his eyes become orange. The horns are out in full, his hands are clawed, and you see this mace appear in his hand, a big 2-handed mace, and then a staff, and he is like slamming them up against the sphere, but you don't hear anything. And as you finish, there is this light that begins to emanate above the lieutenant. And it's just this humanoid shape that's kind of floating above him. And it sinks back down into his body. Is there anything that you want to say as you finish this scroll, Sir Daelon?
Absolutely. So I'd describe Sedalon as having completed the spell, and Lieutenant Matthias Crow, his body's reaction to that is kind of like a levitation just off the ground, with as if being pulled up by a thread from his heart, and light emanating throughout his body as it happens. In that moment, Sedalon changes his stance and begins to look at Thurmgold, reaches out his hand and brings a fist in towards himself as his eyes start to flash a luminous blue, and his wings begin to grow out from behind his back. The aura starts to radiate a little bit more from the halo on his head, and he rises up off the ground to meet Theriumgul face to face. As tall as Theriumgul is, Sir Daelon will rise to that level, that height, and stare him in the face, saying to him, "This is not your day. I have realized what I am here for now. I'm here to defy you. I am here to deny you your champion. I am here to stand in the way of all of your plans and everything that you desire. I will be here to face you, and you will never reach your goals. I will ensure it."
And you can tell that he hears everything that you say, and he's looking at you with hatred. And you can see his mouth moving and the elongated teeth within his mouth. And he's talking, but you cannot hear what he's saying. But actually, just give me a perception check.
Let's go.
14 perception. Okay. As you're looking at him, you see him mouth the words, and then there is a rending sound behind you. A very familiar one, that what happened within the battleground. And as this rend begins to open on its own, stepping through, you see the familiar form of Xenaros. And as he makes his way in, his wings kind of flare out, and you can see him now in his full height, muscular frame, glowing eyes that are glowing yellow. And he looks at what's happening, looks at Theriumgul for just a moment, and then looks down at the body of the lieutenant and at you, Sir Daelon.
What is your name?
I am Zenthiel. I serve our Lord Palion with all that I am and every thread of me.
Zanriel, so you are aware of your celestial self. You have done well here. Palion has his eye on you. I will watch over this fallen one.
And at this point, I would like to welcome back Matthias Crow. At this moment, Lieutenant Matthias Crow, you feel your life force come back to you as your eyes snap open. And there's a quiet, a peace, and a solitude in the environment around you. You see Sir Daelon standing there. You see Andriel and Little One Among the Reeds, all standing within this area in the center of the Fate's Hand Tavern. You see Theriumgul, although he looks much bigger and much more, I don't almost animalistic and fiendish than you've ever seen him before. And he is yelling and cursing and spitting and clawing at this invisible barrier as you regain consciousness. I'll leave it to you guys for a moment here.
I will slowly rise to my feet. First looking up at the monster as it bashes against the wall. And then I will spit whatever blood in my mouth on the invisible barrier at him. And then I will turn my back on him as though he were nothing. And I will bow to Sir Daylon.
So Daylon will drift down from his position up high flying and come down to greet both Andriel and Lieutenant Matthias Crow, placing his hand against Matthias Crow's chest, and just a soft glow comes from the hand as he's trying to push healing energy both from his healing hands and his lay on hands ability, and trying to bring life back into Matthias Crow and bring him back to strength. As he looks at Andriel, dips his head slightly, but doesn't speak any words to either of you. He takes his hand off Matthias Crow's chest and stands back, removing his helmet.
You see Zeneros look down at you, Lieutenant, and he seems to be waiting as he takes a step backwards.
Our time here is short, young one. You should come with me. There is certainly a place in the Hall of Judgment for someone like you. Your work is not done. This way, please.
Matthias will nod and place one hand on Sir Daylon's shoulder, slapping it down, his fist down on his armor. And then he will nod to Andriel and just kind of cock his head at Little in the reeds and make his way with the angels.
So at this point, Zeneros just kind of motions with his hand for you to come with him. It kind of like points towards the portal for you to step through, and he puts like one leg in, goes to the other side, crossing the threshold from the abyss back to the Hall of Judgment, and motions for you to follow him. As you step through as well, he turns to give one last look towards Thurmgul, and he says,
One day your time will come, and you will be judged, Thurmgul. We are always watching everything you do. You have been warned.
and with that, the portal closes. As this seal closes and this sphere of temporary magic collapses in on itself, the sound of the Fate's Hand Tavern, as few and far between they are, but the flickering torchlight and the footsteps outside of this sphere can now be heard once again. Thurmgul, as those eyes of judgment look upon him, you see his form shrink down to that you were familiar with as host of Crucible of Fate. His staff fades away into shadow. His mace fades away into shadow. And he glides towards you all once again, well, to Andriel and Sir Daylon, that is. Well, that was a crucible first, huh? I think I may have lost my cool there. I apologize for that. Sometimes my emotions get the better of me. I kind of see red. I'm okay now, though. I apologize for any violence I may have offered you, Sir Daelon. However, I can't help but feel that you have made a very grievous error. But this was bound to happen sooner or later. And it was in the contract that should anyone use any magic to bring anyone back from the dead, I had to tolerate it. But since that ugly little moment is gone, and that delicious morsel, Lieutenant Crow, is now gone, I can't help but feel I have a bit of a grudge against you, Sir Daelon.
I was just noticing you seemed to look a little bit scared a minute ago.
Give me an insight check, please, Andrea. 20. You certainly detected a high degree of unease. Fear is a strong word. A definite respect for the power behind what brought Xenos into the abyss. This divine power certainly had his attention and very clearly left him unable to do anything about it. I would not say I was afraid. Come on, I am all-powerful, am I not? But contracts need to be respected. Otherwise, it's just chaos down here, right?
So Daelon glides forward towards Therigal, landing about 10 feet from us, so he's just outside the aura. He puts his hand up. He speaks to Therigal once again, and he says, "My connection to Source is strong. I will rise up to meet your challenges. I will defy the odds. I will overcome. I will endure. Our gods of law and goodness are well represented here. You will have your day. Your day of judgment. Your day of reckoning."
This may be true, Sir Daelon. This may be true. And perhaps it is not the last that we have seen of the Lieutenant or of Xenos. However, they are now gone, and you are once again alone. And there is a long road ahead of you. And so to the rest of the contestants in the contestant circle, I ask all of you, who will stand against Sir Daelon? Who will become my champion? Who will crush this upstart, this rebellion under their boot? I will reward you greatly should you come through for me. There are many miles to travel yet, Sir Daelon. It would be a shame if you were to trip during this voyage through the abyssal stair. There is a long way to fall at the bottom, a very long way indeed. Matthias saw this true abyss, as you will all see it once you return to stasis. Things have changed in our little game here. The stakes have gone up. Every time we turn on the lights, 3 of you will die, and there are rounds to go. We will see, Sir Daylon, we will see. But of course, I must now grant you the opportunity as survivors of episode 4, and it is not beneath me to commend you for everything that you have accomplished here, huh? Let's let that tension just be released. Let's bring it back to a joyous occasion of your survival. And one step closer to giving me to becoming my champion. Is there anything you would like to say to the eyes of truth?
Andrea would like to walk over to Sir Daylon and bow her head. And she'd like to take out the +1 sword and offer it to him, hilt first, and 2 potions, and say, thank you for your help in that battle. I fortunately did not need these items, so I would like to return them to you with my gratitude. And I'm sorry for the position that I put you and Lieutenant Crow in. And I'm glad that you both got out. I hope we both live to fight together again. I'm behind you.
Daylon will step forward straight away and begin pushing down the sword and the potions that Andrew is trying to hand back, and say to her, These were a gift meant to aid you in this accursed place. Take them, keep them, do with them as you please. And know that I will be watching you, watching out for you. And if we do meet again, my sword will be at your side.
And I thank you.
He just dips his head and bows a little to Andrew, puts his hand on her shoulder, gives her a little nod, and begins to step away.
Wow.
Andrea looks a little flustered, but nods back. Thank you.
How touching. How touching indeed. All right, let us get to the finale of this here, shall we? I believe you have a treasure chest waiting for you. So, out of character, everyone. Great job. Obviously, we had to do a little bit of planning, but Cole did surprise me when he came forward and said what he wanted to do. I'm sad to see every player go, as I say all the time. It doesn't bring me any joy to see anyone go, especially when, it's a character that has done such a great job role-playing and has been a real presence on the show and also in the Discord. So when Cole said that he wanted to use Revivify, okay, excellent. So we got in touch with Andrew and made it happen. So well done to you guys. That's where we'll kind of end the in-character part of the show, and it's time to roll. Let's just do the monsters and the monster and the escape room here first, and then we'll do the treasure. So I'm gonna bring up the wheel here, turn off the game log, turn on the right thing. It's probably a bit too small for you guys to see. Let's see how this goes. Okay, so we're gonna do the room first. So this is the next possible room for the next episode. So right now we've got spheres of influence, and what else do we have? Spinning. Unrevealed Room 3, Episode 9. Is it going to be Episode 9 or Unrevealed Room 2? It's Unrevealed Room 2. Excellent. That means we get to have more fun with things that you guys aren't ready for. I gotta admit, I get a bit of joy out of that. Gotta take it where I can get it. Let us now bring up the monster wheel. And here we go. Concordant Killer. Oh, Red Dragon for days. That's not getting past that. There we go. Red Dragon.
Wow.
Someone's going to be feeling the heat. I will remove it. So we're going to do some rolls here. So I am going in, if those of you who want to follow along, we're going into the Dungeon Master's Guide. We're going to be pulling up the treasure hoards, the random treasure hoard for the Nagpa. The Nagpa was CR 17, which means we're going to the 17 plus. So this is the big one here. There's a lot of potential. So I need a D100 roll here. Before you guys roll, does anyone want to do this roll? Does anyone be responsible for this?
I will be responsible as the party not here.
That's fair. Okay, and also keep in mind, Fate Spheres can still be used here. Tends to be higher roll is better, so I would just ask that you don't necessarily look it up, but if you don't think the roll is high enough, go ahead and use your Fate Sphere. So, Andrew, D100, please.
Yep.
There's some pretty epic gear in here. I mean, this is where the Holy Avengers come in. This is where there's some real stuff.
Oh, that's a big number.
90. All right. Is that a keeper?
Getting much higher than that.
You can't get much higher than that. That's cool. That's cool.
Okay.
That's a sitter.
So
Yeah.
we're going with the 90. That means I need 1d10.
Andrew.
I need someone to give me a 1d10.
Oh, I got it.
All right.
This is for the art objects.
1d10 coming right up.
6
It's a 6.
on the d10. Okay, so that means 6 times 2,500, so that's 15,000 gold right there. 15,000 GP. So I need 12d6 from someone, and this is times 1,000 for the GP. So 12d6 from someone, please. 43. So that is 43,000 gold pieces. And our last little roll, just for pure wealth, I believe is for the platinum, and that's 8d6. So if someone could give me 8d6, and this is times 1,000 platinum.
I'll go ahead.
Thanks, Andrew.
Yep. That's a lot of ones.
19. All right, so 19,000 platinum.
Platinum. Bam.
Which is 190,000 gold.
Mm-hmm.
Yikes.
All right, so we've got that sorted out. Now I would say the fun roll, at least in my mind, is the 1d4 items on magic table I. So I need a 1d...
I, which is a hell of a list. Yep.
It is. So I need a 1d4 from someone, please.
Oh, no.
It is a 1. I'm just gonna say this has been Fate Sphered before.
I'll do it. I'll spin one.
2.
One extra.
Twice as many.
Okay,
I'm happy.
so 2 rolls, and I'm actually gonna say we'll let Sir Dalon and Andriel do these 2, just to make it a little more personal. No offense, Andrew.
100.
None taken.
This is a D100.
D4. Oh, D100. Yeah, sorry, D100.
D100.
D100 on table I, the first of 2, an 11, which would be a luck blade. Luck blade going once, going twice. Luck blade it is. Now, if I remember something about the luck blade, it has a little something called a wish.
Wish.
It does.
That's going to have to be discussed at Rules Committee. But still, the rest of the sword is quite impressive on its own. Okay, second item. 64. 64, looking at it, scrolling down. Ooh, Rod of Resurrection. That's a little on the nose.
What are you trying to tell me, Pelion? Pelion, what are you trying to say?
I don't like what Kyrus is bringing to the table here. Okay.
Is this all I'm good for?
Let's go ahead and roll one more time just in case. That'll count as a second item, but again, I want time to review that with Rules Committee. So let's do one more roll.
For me?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's going to be a 64
Here
again.
it comes.
It's going to be a 64 again. 35.
Nope,
Okay.
35.
35.
Oof.
Rod of Lordly Might. Okay. Rod of Lordly Might. Okay. That about does it for our treasure. I mean, I think we're at 58 plus 190. That's 248,000 gold. And 3 items off of table I. A king's bounty, indeed.
Dangerous items.
Yeah. Any other closing comments from any of our survivors from today, including Andrew, being a survivor now?
I want to say how much of an honor and privilege it's been playing with all these wonderful people, and thanks again, Dave. This has been amazing. Super amazing what you've brought to everybody in our community. This whole game is just, let's go.
Thanks so much, Cole. Appreciate that. And yeah, I mean, obviously, you're bringing a lot to the table too, and bringing a bunch of firsts to the show. And neat to see. I was wondering when the first person was going to be brought back and who it's going to be, and of course, it had to be the lieutenant. Just kidding. That was Theramgul talking, not Dave.
Yep. This has been a hell of an episode, start to finish. It has been a privilege being part of another episode 4 crew, holding up the record there. You guys are fantastic. It is great to be still in game. I can't wait to see the whole episode strung out on YouTube. I'm so pumped to see it.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Really
It's a good one.
This has been so fun as like a player, but this has been so fun like as a fan too, just to like see all of this stuff happen. Thank you.
Cool. Glad to hear it, guys. Okay, so chat, anybody who's out there watching, thanks very much for tuning in to watch our little finale here. Hope you enjoyed it. Okay, we'll see everybody soon. I hope you all enjoy a nice long rest. Take care, everybody.